Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing amazing. So today I wanted to speak to you guys about how much of a blur my diagnosis was without me even knowing that my diagnosis was a blur. So this entire time I've been saying that that I was diagnosed November of 2005. I thought I remembered that. Um, but I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. But before I do, yesterday was my birthday, and I want to thank everyone that took the time out to message me through Facebook, message me through my text messages, call me, come over. I love y'all. My sister took me out for lunch as well. My mom came over for dinner. Thank you guys. Everyone on Facebook that took the time to tell me, wish me a happy birthday, and I love y'all. Thank you. Even people that I don't really know, that it meant a lot to me. You guys PM me on my Facebook, and I love y'all. Thank you so much. That meant the world to me because sometimes you don't really think about, people that want to wish you a happy birthday or want to wish you well. But thank you guys, and I wish everyone well as well. I hope everyone has a great birthday whenever your birthday is. Happy birthday to anyone whose birthday is on October the 9th. Mine's on the 8th, but that was yesterday. My husband reminded me, hey, it is not your birthday anymore. And I'm like, hey, my birthday is all month of October. Just want to let you know. No, but okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys about my diagnosis. So I keep saying that my diagnosis anniversary is coming November of 2020, that it's going to be 15 years. Well, 3 days ago now, I wanted to find my folder, the very first folder that I received when I was diagnosed. I have no hardcore evidence of my first diagnosis date just because the MRI took a while to come back. And the first day that I heard you have multiple sclerosis, there was no MRI back yet. So there was no proof, no concrete proof. However, since then, I've had so many other tests, spinal tabs, that I don't even remember because I was under drugs, I guess. I think they gave me good drugs so that I wouldn't feel the spinal tab. I don't know what happened, but I have records of having a spinal tab, my doctor says, which I'm going to get from her. But either way, I've had a lot of tests done to confirm that it is multiple sclerosis. However, I wanted to show you guys, since November was coming, I wanted to show you guys the actual document. I'm all about facts. I like facts. Sometimes things that don't make sense work for me, and I get that. However, I like facts when I have them. So I looked for my folder, my very first folder, and surprise to me, and I'm gonna show y'all. And I don't care that y'all see my name or any of that stuff, because this is more than 15 years ago now. So I want to show y'all something. I don't know if y'all can see that. So the date is February 2nd of 2005. Again, I'm not sure if y'all can see that very well, and it doesn't look too well to me. Is it backwards? No, it's not. It's not backwards. What does it look backwards? Anyways, it says February of 2005. My name is right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. Why does it look so backwards? Anyways, so my name is right there on top. It says Victoria Villalobos. That's my maid. That's the way I was born to this world. So I was shocked, extremely shocked, to find out that my 15th year anniversary had actually already passed. I also found a bunch of other documents that indicate and confirm that I had so many relapses after my diagnosis. I thought that I didn't have too many relapses. But honestly, and I've said this before, I tried to forget. I tried to forget that I even had multiple sclerosis for the first 3 years of my life after being diagnosed, because I guess so much was going on around that time that, like I've said before, I'm really good at ignoring things, at ignoring bad things, or tuning things out. I am so good at that. But I was so shocked, and honestly, I've had MS longer than I thought, and I always said that, because from what I remember, and I even asked my sister yesterday, does she remember when I was diagnosed? And she said the same thing I did. She told me, oh yeah, November, and that Christmas was crazy. And I was like, that year of your diagnosis, Christmas was crazy because we didn't celebrate it the way we usually do. And that's because you were having a hard time walking. And I was like, I do remember that. And I do remember that it was cold outside. So you guys, I hate to lie. And honestly, I don't feel that I was lying because that's what my memory was at that time. However, I feel that MS is such a harsh diagnosis that I didn't even realize how bad it affected me, that I didn't even know that I was diagnosed at 19 years old. This makes me 19 when I was diagnosed. February 2nd of 2005, I was still 19 years old. I forgot that. I didn't even know that recently. You know what I'm saying? I just found this out. So I'm taking all this in as I'm speaking. It's really still kind of shocking to me that I didn't even remember. But honestly, the reason I'm doing this video is because MS is so harsh that sometimes it can just be a blur, especially if you had MS for more than 10 years. For me, it'll be 16 years in February of next year, and I didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad I wanted to forget the whole diagnosis. The entire ordeal was crazy. And my sister, she agreed with me. She was like, automatically, I was just like, hey, do you remember when I was diagnosed? And she was like, what was November? And I was like, yeah. I asked my mom too yesterday because I just found this out like 3 days ago. But yesterday was my birthday, so they were with me. However, my mom's like, yeah, you were 20 years old. And I was like, I thought so too, Mom. And she was like, well, that's what I remember. My mom knew it wasn't in November though. She was like, I know it wasn't November. I know it was cold, but that's why I thought it was November, because I know it was cold. Everyone knows it was cold. My sister remembers it was cold. My mom remembers it was cold. I remember it was cold. So I just thought November, you know what I'm saying? And then I remembered that Christmas was crazy. But after my diagnosis, these papers, and I have so many other documents that I found while looking for these original initial documents, I found so many other documents of infusions that I had, like steroid pills that I had. Like, I just thank God I'm a paper hoarder, guys. By the way, I'm a paper hoarder. But either way, I'm so glad that I am. So there's boxes of like all these papers that I didn't even know. I forgot about them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to know anything about multiple sclerosis at that time, like at all. And even through the years until just recently, you know, I started my channel about a year ago. So it wasn't a little over a year ago. Either way, I want to say a good 13 years now, I've really, really been at it with the research, with the, changing the way that I was approaching it at the beginning, which was not dealing with it at all, not wanting to know anything about it. So if that's you, just want to let you know, it didn't work out for me. So I just want to save anyone the trouble. The more research, knowledge is power. I am firm. I stand firm with that. Just because at the time of my diagnosis, I guess I was 19 years old. I wasn't even 20, guys. This is such a hard shock to me, and it's beyond me. Like, it really is. I was shocked and I was lost for words. And I even asked my husband, like, are you sure this date is right? Like, this is when they actually issued the medication to me. This is the date of my diagnosis. This is the date that they told me, hey, you have multiple sclerosis. Well, you know what? The results will come back, but I'm more than certain. And honestly, this neurologist was so knowledgeable. He was amazing. In that time, he had now moved on to working on patients that had heart attacks and things like that. But he was an old school, like, neurologist. He is amazing. Either way, he from the very beginning said you have multiple sclerosis, and that's what it was. But this was my first treatment, guys. This February 2nd of 2005, this was my first treatment, and I can't even I couldn't even process it the night I found it. It was at night on the 6th, October 6th is when I found this information, and I'm like, oh my god, this makes me 19 and not 20 like I thought I was when I was diagnosed. And that was something else for me. It really was. It was extreme, like extremely different emotions ran through my head. I immediately the next day texted my people that were there for me, and I'm like, you know what, guys, oh my god, like I was 19 years old. My son's like, oh mom, it doesn't matter how old you were, you're fine, you're doing good now. And I'm like, baby, it matters to me. Like, this is a big deal. Like, I was in my teens. I had just turned, thing is, I had turned in October 2004, I had turned 18. October 8th of 2004, I turned 18. So November, December, January, that was 3 months. So the beginning of February, to me, that was really quick. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember telling myself my birthday just passed, and it was my 19th birthday. But at the time, I didn't register. I didn't say, oh, it was my, I guess, because I'm thinking I was 20. I'm thinking it was my 20th birthday that just passed a month ago, because I'm thinking I was diagnosed November of 2005. When in reality, I was diagnosed February 2nd of 2005, which was the very second day of, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, it's just so mind boggling. It really, really is. And it's, to me, that's how devastating multiple sclerosis was to me and to so many other people. I know that for sure. So if you've ever tried to forget any worst thing that has happened to you in your life, I guess I know how that feels, because honestly, I was extremely surprised. Extremely, like, surprise is not even justify how much of a awakening this was. Like, oh my God, MS was really this bad for me. Like, thank God, since my son was born, and I've, said this story before, but when my son was born, it was like the worst relapse of my life. He was born in March, and he, in May, it was like the worst. And that's actually when I started changing my approach to MS, and not undermining it, and not trying to vanish it from my mind. You know what I'm saying? And these are my consequences, because I didn't even know the exact date of my diagnosis. Like I said, thank God that I'm a paper hoarder and I found them. My best friend gets on to me about that, but hey, I know you watch my videos. I love you, Liz. I thank God I saved these paperwork, these papers. And again, I have more. I have a lot more unbeknownst to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. I really didn't. I really thought my anniversary is coming up. And so honestly, in February, I'll have 16 years with this disease. And to me, like I said, it's just so overwhelming how overwhelming this whole entire diagnosis was to me. And there was so many other things going on at the time. And I think that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to push this to the back burner. And which shouldn't have done that again. But either way, I was trying not to, be kicked out of college. I was in college. I was trying not to allow Chase Bank to let go of me. But I mean, that was over my control as well. So there was just a lot going on. And then honestly, I'm just shocked. I'm extremely shocked. And I was lost for words. Like, when I found this out, I was like, oh my God. I had to, my husband was like, no, yeah, that sounds pretty accurate, because we were in our first apartment and you were 19 years old. And I was like, How come you've never corrected me before? And he's like, I don't know. I just didn't, he really didn't even put two thoughts into it either. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I love you guys and thank you for listening. This was a harsh discovery for me. And I hope you guys are well. Love y'all. Goodbye.